This is the OTB Network.
Hello and welcome to this week's edition of Horses and Courses, brought to you by Parting Glass Racing. We've just finished a very busy weekend's worth of stakes racing action from coast to coast and many places in between. We'll start things out at Gulfstream on Saturday. With older horses going long in the skip-away, we'll join the skip-away in progress.
23 and 3 the opening quarter as they move down the backstretch. Finally made it on top 3/4 of a length. Fierce Wind on the outside second. Tis Big behind the leaders third. The half and 48 and 3. Then Nisley's Crunch to the outside. Tom Cito and I'm a Wild and Crazy Guy. And Cool Gator biding time in the back. Approaching the half-mile pole. Finally made it. On top a half length. Fierce Wind now comes under a ride. Nisley's Crunch is just outside the leaders. Tom Cito is fourth along the rail. Tis Big's alongside of him. Cool Gator and I'm a Wild and Crazy Guy. It's been an easy pace. 3/4 went in 1:13 and 2, and finally made it. Kicks away. He opens up a 3-length lead here midway on the far turn. Fierce Wind under a full-out drive. Whips out on Nisley's Crunch. Tis Big being pushed on 2. Cool Gator comes wide, and I'm a Wild and Crazy Guy. They're into the stretch, and it's finally made it. Down to the 8th pole, he's got a 6-length lead. Finally made it all by himself. Then Tis Big, Cool Gator on the outside. But it's finally made it, and Eduardo Nunez rolling home in the skip-away. Tis Big second, Cool Gator and Fierce Wind.
Finally made it, finally gets there. He was second a couple of races back in the Don Handicap to Albertus Maximus, ran up the track in the McDermott, then came back and ran well to finish second to Smooth Air in the Gulfstream Park Handicap. Here he gets to the front, never looks back, and wins off by 8 1/4 lengths over Tis Big. Long shot Cool Gator completes the top 3. The winner finally made it is a Chestnut Son of Concerto from Gold for My Gal by Gold Alert, bred in Florida by Rolando Rodriguez and Roblier Stable, owned by the Roblier Thoroughbred Partnership and trained rather by Javier Negrete. Ridden to victory by Eduardo Nunez. Finally made it. Covers the mile in 3/16 and 156.76. We'll head to Oaklawn next for a trio of stakes races, 2 on Saturday afternoon. Beginning things will be the Grade 1 Apple Blossom for fillies and mares.
And they're off in the Apple Blossom Handicap. 7th Street shoots right out there for the lead with Rajiv Mirage. Superior Storm drops back into second, 2 lengths off the leader. Color Me Up is next, followed by Acoma and French Kiss as they move to the turn, and 7th Street is going to set the pace in this race. Superior Storm settles into second by 3. Color Me Up is now third. It's another 3 lengths back to Acoma and French Kiss. As they continue around the turn, they got the opening quarter in 24 seconds. 7th Street just cruising along on the lead by a length. Superior Storm is second. It's 4 lengths back to Color Me Up. French Kiss is at the rail. Acoma to her outside. They straighten for the run down the backstretch. That is 7th Street leading away. Superior Storm right at her flank in second. It's 3.5 back to Color Me Up. Then at the back of the pack, French Kiss is at the rail and Acoma alongside. Past the half in 48 seconds, very even fractions in the Apple Blossom. And 7th Street with Rajiv Mirage continues to show the way. Superior Storm is second. It's 5 lengths back to Color Me Up. Along the inside, French Kiss. Acoma still at the back of the pack as they move on to the final turn of the Apple Blossom. It is 7th Street who continues to show the way. Superior Storm in pursuit second. About 6 lengths back, and now suddenly Acoma fires up. After 3/4, 112 and 1. Here they come into the stretch of the Apple Blossom. And 7th Street leads the way. Superior Storm now to challenge on the outside. Acoma is in a full drive, but she's got 5 lengths to make up. 7th Street leads it. Superior Storm trying to come get her. Acoma is full out in third, but she's not getting to 7th Street. As a hand ride from Rajiv Mirage gives 7th Street the biggest win of her career. It is 7th Street winning this one by 4 lengths. Superior Storm finishing second, and in a close finish, Acoma runs third. The running time, 1:43 seconds.
Last year, this race launched Zenyatta. This year, it's 7th Street who scores the victory on the front end, 5 3/4 lengths the better of Superior Storm, with favorite Acoma The odds-on choice not being able to make up much ground into that rather moderate pace that was set in the early going. The winner, 7th Street, is now 4 for 6 lifetime. She was second in the Barbara Fritchie last time out, going 7. Here she stretches back out to 2 turns. First time going a mile and a 16th, and handles it quite nicely. Chestnut Daughter of Street Cry from Holiday Runner by Meadow Lake was bred in Kentucky by Steve Barbarino, owned by Darley Stable and trained by Karen McLaughlin. Ridden to victory by Rajiv Maroff. 7th Street covers the mile and a 16th in the Apple Blossom at Oaklawn in 143.13. We'll head right back to Oaklawn now. The Oaklawn Handicap, a grade 2 for older horses.
And they're off in the Oaklawn Handicap. And Jonesboro wastes no time. He bounds out there to duel for the lead. It's a Bird to his inside is right there in second. At the rail, that is Catmandu in third. Secret Getaway takes fourth. To his outside is Honest Man. It's 3 lengths back to run for the doe in the trailer. Early on here is Prom Shoes. But Calvin Burrell has Jonesboro out on the front, and It's a Bird is second. Catmandu is at the rail. To the middle of the track are Secret Getaway and an Honest Man. The opening quarter, 23-1. They head for the backstretch, and it is Jonesboro leading the way. It's a Bird right at his neck in second. Length and a half back, Secret Getaway. Another length and a half to Honest Man. Right there in fifth at the rail is Catmandu in a striking position. It's a good 6 or 7 lengths back to Prom Shoes and Run for the Doe at the back of the pack. They continue down the backstretch. Honest time here, 46-3 for the half. Jonesboro leading the way. It's a Bird right at him in second. Length and a half back to Secret Getaway. Honest Man staying out in the middle in fourth. Catmandu is still at the rail in fifth, beginning to make up some ground, however. Here come Prom Shoes and Run for the Doe as they head to the final turn in the Oaklawn Handicap. And it is still Jonesboro and It's a Bird right together. Honest Man moves up to the outside now in third. Secret Getaway running fourth, 6 furlongs, 1:10-3. Here they come into the stretch of the Oaklawn Handicap, and It's a Bird has now taken the lead. Jonesboro is still second. Honest Man is third into the outside. Run for the Doe is in full stride, and he's coming hard. The leader is It's a Bird. Jonesboro is second. Run for the Doe to the outside. Honest Man still there. Furlong to go. The leader is still It's a Bird, and he's got it by 4 lengths now. They near the wire. It's a Bird in full command is going to win this one handily. It's a Bird is about 5 lengths in front. Run for the Doe. Jonesboro battled out for second. Give it to Run for the Doe second. Jonesboro third. Secret Getaway ran fourth.
It's a Bird scoring the win. This guy has really come to hand very nicely in recent months since transferring to Marty Wolfson's barn. Here's scoring off by an easy 6 lengths over Run for the Doe with long shot Jonesboro, the usual expected pacemaker, holding on well, though, to settle for third. After finishing third last time out to Macho again in the New Orleans Handicap, It's a Bird earns his 10th career victory. He is a dark bay or brown son of Bird on the Wire from Faithful City by Hooched. Bred in Florida by the White Cross Farm and owned by Edmund Gann, trained by Marty Wolfson and ridden to victory by Julian Leperoux, It's a Bird covers the mile and a furlong in 148.96. Next up, we'll head back to Oaklawn Park. Sunday Stakes feature the Grade 2 Fantasy for 3-year-old fillies.
And they're off in the Fantasy. And Rachel Alexandra breaks running quickly. A Fleet Deceit right there with Just Genda. Catch to the outside is fourth. Bon Jovi Girl trails. They head for the turn, and Calvin Burrell takes a long hold on Rachel Alexandra, and she's got the lead already by a length. A Fleet Deceit is second. Catch to the outside is third. Then it's Just Genda and Bon Jovi Girl. On the turn in the Fantasy, it is Rachel Alexandra galloping along, leading it by 2. The opening quarter, 23-2. A Fleet Deceit is settled in second. Middle of the track, Cats is third. Then it's Bon Jovi Girl and Just Genda. They move now to the backstretch. Rachel Alexandra continuing to lead the way under a long hold from Calvin Burrell. A Fleet Deceit is still second. Catch to the outside third, then Bon Jovi Girl and Just Genda is about 4 lengths off the lead as they continue down the backstretch past a half in 47-2. Rachel Alexandra opens that lead up now to a length and a half. A Fleet Deceit still second, followed by Cats. Bon Jovi Girl trying to get some room along the inside, Just Genda between horses. They're on the final turn of the Fantasy, and it is Rachel Alexandra continuing to cruise along under a hold. Calvin looking for competition. He spots Bon Jovi Girl shooting up the inside into second now. A Fleet Deceit right there past 3/4, 112-2. Here they come into the stretch of the Fantasy. Rachel Alexandra the leader. Bon Jovi Girl at the rail. On the outside, here's Just Genda now making her move. but it is Rachel Alexandra and Calvin Burrell sitting just chilly as can be. Rachel Alexandra, one of the greatest fillies ever to race at Oaklawn, is giving us a spectacular performance in the Fantasy as she draws clear by 7 lengths. Rachel Alexandra, a great filly, winning the Fantasy by 8 lengths. A Fleet to seat second, Just Genda third, Bon Jovi was fourth.
Rachel Alexandra, this filly just seems to move from strength to strength. She's on a winning streak now with 4 in a row, going back to last fall in the Goldenrod at Churchill Downs. Obviously nice to have a win over that racing surface, as she has got to be considered one of the prime candidates for this year's running of the Kentucky Oaks. Rachel Alexandra goes to the front under Calvin Burrell and simply never looks back, romping by almost 9 over a Fleet Deceit. Just Genda completes the top 3 with a bit of a wide bid. The winner, Rachel Alexandra, is a bay 3-year-old daughter of Medaglia d'Oro from Lotta Kim by Roar. Bred in Kentucky by Dolphus C. Morrison and owned by the L&M Partners Limited, trained by Hal Wiggins and ridden to victory by Calvin Burrell. Rachel Alexandra covers the mile in the 16th in 143.35. We'll head to Keeneland next, where they open for the spring meet, a terrific stakes-packed meeting at Keeneland. Friday's stakes feature the Transylvania, sponsored by the Central Bank, $150,000 for 3-year-olds going on a yielding turf.
And they're off in the Central Bank Transylvania. Smart Bid away sharply down toward the inside. Orthodox toward the center of the course. Florentino moves up from in between horses, and there goes Florentino to take the advantage for Alan Garcia as they head for the first turn. Orthodox goes second, stacks up 3 lanes off the rail. As Smart Bid stays in tight down toward the inside. Southern Anthem is 4th in between horses. Makoshi is 3 wide and 5th, entering the first turn. Oil Man is in the 6th position, running 4 lengths off the early lead. Skip a Date is 7th down toward the inside. And Storm Mallory is the trailer, but right there with the rest. Opening quarter in 24 and 1/5 seconds. Florentino is the leader. Florentino on top by almost a full length, headed off the first turn and onto the back stretch. Orthodox is second by a length. Makoshi is challenging for third to the outside of Smart Bid. And then behind that pair, Southern Anthem 5th toward the inside. Oil Man 6th up on the outside. Storm Mallory is 7th alongside of Skip a Date. They're side by side at the back, 6 lengths off the lead, the half in 49 and 3/5 seconds. Florentino is the leader, 3/4 of a length into the far turn. Orthodox is stalking the pace, second, a length and a half. Makoshi goes third on the outside. Smart Bid 4th against the rail. He's been there all the way. Then Oil Man, 4 lengths off the lead toward the outside, angling toward the center of the course. Southern Anthem comes next. And at the top of the stretch, Storm Mallory is still far back, 7 lengths off the lead, along with Skip a Date. Florentino is the leader. Florentino, though, is chased down by Makoshi from the outside. The rest have work to do. Storm Mallory and Skip a Date coming late on the far outside. Smart Bid tries to come with them. Storm Mallory coming after Florentino. Smart Bid is third, then Skip a Date 4th. Storm Mallory and Smart Bid to the front together. Storm Mallory takes it by a neck from Smart Bid, home second, close for third, Florentino or Skip a Date.
Storm Mallory rallies from last to first. A very nice off-the-pace move to score by a neck over Smart Bid, with Florentino, the pacemaker, holding on well to finish third. The winner, Storm Mallory, moving into some fairly lofty company. He's been running against good allowance and stakes types, and here looks like he may be setting up to run in the Crown Royal American Turf on Derby weekend next out. Looks like it'd probably be an anticipated spot for this late-moving son of Storm Cat. Storm Cat, the sire, Miss Hallery the Dam, she a daughter of Mr. Prospector. Storm Mallory was bred in Kentucky by Stoner Side and is now owned by Darley, one of the many horses that was purchased in that draft of horses last year, including last year's 2-year-old champion Midshipman. Bill Mott continues to train for Darley on Storm Mallory. Julian Leperoux in the irons. Final time for the mile and the 16th on a turf course labeled Yielding, 145.73. Saturday stakes feature at Keeneland, the Grade 1 Ashland for 3-year-old fillies.
And they're off in the Ashland. Bolingbroke alertly from the outside. Be Fair between horses comes out for the lead, and What a Pair is there down toward the inside, and there goes Who Why moving up toward the early pace as well. Be Fair has the advantage, but is toward the far outside. 3 lanes off the rail entering the first turn. Who Why in between horses now puts ahead in front. What a Pair is up close with a ground-saving trip in third against the rail. Bolin goes fourth. Nan is fifth. Third Dawn is sixth in between horses. Gossip Girl is next on the outside. Break of 2 lengths to Stardom Bound next to last. And Dream Empress is the trailer toward the inside, 24-2, the time for the opening quarter. Who Why has made the lead for Corey Lannery, on top by 3 parts of a length. Be Fair just off the leader's flank and second by 2. Bolin is third by a head. What a Pair fourth toward the inside. Break of 2 lengths. Nan is fifth against the rail. Third Dawn sixth in between horses. Gossip Girl to the far outside in seventh. Dream Empress is eighth. And Champion Stardom Bound is still ninth and last, entering the far turn. The half in 48 and 2/5 seconds. Who Why on top by a length and a half into the far turn. Be Fair second, a length and a half. Bolin third on the outside. Then What a Pair. Nan between horses. Then Gossip Girl. Stardom Bound is still 7 lengths off the lead. They're at the quarter pole. Then Dream Empress and Third Dawn at the back. Top of the stretch. Who Why looking to spring the upset. Leading Be Fair by a length and a half. Gossip Girl swings wide in third. They're coming to the 8th pole. Who Why chased by Be Fair. Gossip Girl. Stardom Bound is still fourth at the 16th pole. Who Why hanging tough, but Gossip Girl is running on. Here's the line. Who Why and Corey Lannery spring the upset to take the Ashland from Gossip Girl, who's home second. The time 1 minute 43 and 4/5 seconds.
Quite an upset as 24-1 shot. Who Why completes the victory here by a neck over Gossip Girl. Gossip Girl was in off of a series of turf races over the wintertime down in Florida where she'd really come to hand nicely. Obviously, she handled the synthetic surface as well. Stardom Bound, last year's champion filly, going into this race with a 5-race Grade 1 streak on the line, and she did disappoint. I have to say, at the top of the stretch, I didn't think she had any shot of even hitting the board. She was under a very aggressive ride by Mike Smith and could do no better than third as the odds-on choice in the Grade 1 Ashland. The winner, Who Why, a chestnut filly, a daughter of cloud hopping from Magic Merger by Corporate Report, was bred in Florida by Gail G. and is owned by the Derby Days Farm and Mark Hoffman. Trained by Donna Dupuy and ridden to victory by Corey Lannery, Who Why covers the mile and a 16th in 143.80. We'll pause now for a brief message. When we return, we've got more great stakes racing action from across the country. Please stay with us. Welcome back to Horses and Courses. We'll continue now at the Illinois Derby. $500,000, a number of horses trying to get themselves a berth in the Kentucky Derby. We'll head out to Hawthorne Saturday afternoon's running of the Grade 2 Illinois Derby.
They're off in the 2009 Illinois Derby. And it's Perfect Song going out for the lead. His Greatness showing early speed. Here's El Khali moving up on the outside. Musket Man in between horses fourth. Towards the inside, the Illinois horse, Giant Oak, saves ground fifth. Caught 4 wide on the turn, Il Postino. And then it's a length and a half back to find Night Shot. The trailing trios, they move around the first turn. Nowhere to Hide, Free Country, and Tocket Rocket. And on to the Hawthorne backstretch they go. 6 furlongs to go in the Illinois Derby, and they're being led by Perfect Song. It's Perfect Song showing the way a length. His Greatness between horses second. El Khali tracking 3 wide third. Giant Oak down along the rail fourth. Musket Man in between horses fifth. Moving 3 wide, Il Postino 6, 4.5 behind the leader. And then it's 2 more back to Night Shot. Then to the outside, Nowhere to Hide. Moving up on the outside is Free Country. He's still about 9 behind the leader. And Tocket Rocket at the end. And around the far turn they go. It's still Perfect Song holding firm. His Greatness now moving up on the outside to challenge second. Then to the outside, El Khali third. Giant Oak soon will need racing room fourth. Musket Man moving to the far outside fifth. Also on the move comes Nowhere to Hide and Free Country. They turn for home in the Illinois Derby. On the outside, Musket Man now surging up to take the lead with 3/16 to go. And Musket Man has the lead by 2. Giant Oak picks up the chase in second. His Greatness third. Dropping back fourth is Perfect Song. A 16th to go. Musket Man has the lead. Giant Oak racing second. But it's Musket Man to win the Illinois Derby. And Musket Man won by 2. Giant Oak was second. His Greatness third. Nowhere to Hide fourth. Tight for fifth between Il Postino and Free Country.
Musket Man in off his win in Tampa at the Tampa Bay Derby here brings his game north and scores by 2 over Giant Oak, who improved his form from over the wintertime just a little bit. Long Shot, His Greatness, completes the top 3 after getting to the front at one point or another. He was always forwardly placed, ran a fairly nice race, but obviously not quite enough necessarily to get him further on the Derby trail, as he only picked up about $52,000 in graded earnings here. Musket Man, however, does look like if they want it, he is in the Derby in terms of his earnings. He has certainly placed himself. They have placed him very well and picked up a number of graded stakes spots, including the Tampa Bay and now Illinois Derbies. The winner, Musket Man, a dark Bear Brown son of Yanaguska from Fort Chuesque by Fortunate Prospect. Bred in Kentucky by Jim E. Nelson and Sergio De Sousa. Owned by Eric Fine and Vic Carlson and trained by Derek Ryan. Ridden victory by Ibar Koa. Musket Man covers the 9 furlongs in 149.91. We'll head out to the West Coast now. Before we head to Santa Anita, we'll make a stop at Golden Gate for Saturday afternoon's Yerba Buena on the turf for fillies and mares. We'll join the Yerba Buena in progress.
Into the back stretch. You lift me up by 5 lengths. Caprice second on the outside of Sky Mystic. 2 lengths away fourth is Restless Soul, followed after 5 by Eno Plov. Short of 5/8 to go. It you lift me up by 2.5 lengths. Caprice striding into a clear second past Sky Mystic. Restless Soul right on the back of Caprice as they all bunch coming past the half-mile pole. Eno Plover's last. Suddenly only 6 lengths covers the Yerba Buena field. It you lift me up by 1 1/4 lengths. Caprice, half a length Sky Mystic the inside, 1 length to Restless Soul, 4 to Eno Plov. At the 3/8 pole, you lift me up from Caprice. Sky Mystic followed by Restless Soul, 6 lengths Eno Plov, 5/16 to run. You lift me up a half length Caprice, 1 to Sky Mystic. Restless Soul now putting in her bid, 3 wide, draws within 2 lengths of the leader. Into the stretch, 3/16 to go. You lift me up, has a nice kick. Got away here from Caprice. Restless Soul on the outside is moving into second position at the 8th pole. And it you lift me up by 1 length. Restless Soul is reeling her in. Caprice running a third. But up goes Restless Soul, taking the lead in the final stages of the Yerba Buena. And Restless Soul has beaten You Lift Me Up, Caprice third.
Restless Soul scoring the victory. A nice effort. She and a couple of the others in this race, all up from Southern California. She was second last time out in the La Zanzara to Caprice, who she was able to beat here by several lengths. You Lift Me Up runs well to finish second after showing good speed. Caprice completes the top 3. Restless Soul is a bay mare, a daughter of Singspiel from Seasonal Splendor by Prince Rupert. Bred in Great Britain by C.A. Sizer and owned by Ben Cecil, James McCalmont, Anthony Rogers and Carl Webster, trained by Ben Cecil and ridden a victory by Chad Vonneveldt. Restless Soul covers the mile in 3 furlongs in 2:20.49. We'll head to Southern California now, begin the day on Saturday, and they had a lot of stakes races on Saturday. We'll start things out with the ungraded Santana Mile.
Away they go, all 4 runners broke well. Dixie Meister between horses, Cause down at the rail, and Rail Trip. Now just gets the rein shaken at him on the outside. Those 3 go on to lead it early, and that'll leave Dakota Phone at the back. sorting themselves out as they run past these 7/8, and as expected, the favourite Rail Trip going to make his own pace on here. Jose Valdivia just putting him on a nice long rein. His ears are pricking back and forth. He's just loping along, not in any hurry at all. In the second spot is Dixie Meister. Cause is tucked in third at the rail, and still Dakota Phone is last, but only 4 lengths would cover them all. Down the backstretch they go, and Rail Trip just nice and relaxed, taking them along by 1 length. In the second spot is Dixie Meister. Cause is down at the rail, and still Dakota Phone content to trail in the early stages. Dakota Phone still 5 off that leader. They run past the half-mile pole now, and it's still Rail Trip. Jose Valdivia just sitting dead still here, taking them along by just over a length. Cause is down at the rail. Dixie Meister's been sent after that leader now, and Dakota Phone 4 lengths off them. 5/16 to go, and Rail Trip, no sweat so far, is absolutely breezing out on the lead now. Rail Trip by 2.5, not being asked. In contrast, both Cause and Dixie Meister are hard-ridden. Dakota Phone down the centre. Heads a turn for home now, and Rail Trip just been allowed to breeze along on the lead. Dakota Phone going to try and make a race of it, but it's Rail Trip clear by 4 lengths now. Dakota Phone is chasing gamely on the outside. Rail Trip, Dakota Phone. Rail Trip might have just held on. Dakota Phone, Dixie Meister and Cause.
Rail Trip getting the victory, barely. A very confident ride by Jose Valdivia. This guy had a fairly easy lead mid-stretch, and Jose Valdivia just kind of galloped him to the wire. I didn't seem to notice or didn't seem to care that Dakota Phone was coming at him. In fact, Rafael Bejarano celebrating momentarily, thinking that he had upset the previously undefeated Rail Trip. It was not to be. He did end up getting the victory, but it was a lot closer than perhaps it should have been. Dixie Meister completes the top 3. The winner, Rail Trip, is a Bay Gelding, a son of Jumpstart from Sweet Trip by Carson City, bred in Kentucky by Donara Thoroughbreds Limited and owned by the JMS stable, trained by Ron Ellis and ridden to victory by Jose Valdivia. Rail Trip covers the mile in 135.70. Next up, the Grade 1 Santa Anita Derby, 3-year-olds going 9.
They're all set now for the Santa Anita Derby, and away they go, and Pioneer of the Nile hopped away nicely, but it's Feisty Sue Answers who wants the lead, and Feisty Sue Answers goes on to lead them. Take the points coming through to race in second. Unbridled Roman at the rail. Pioneer of the Nile has taken a strong hold in the 4th position. Gallant Sun is on the outside. Chocolate Candy's taken back second last, and Mr. Hot Stuff is last, but no more than 5 lengths would cover them all. They run past the 7/8, and Feisty Sue Answers hugs the rail and ensures a good pace in the Derby. Leads it by just over a length to the grade. Take the points in second. Unbridled Roman pulling pretty hard down at the rail. Pioneer of the Nile is right there in 4th. No more than 2 lengths off the leaders, and Pioneer of the Nile now pulling away at Garrett Gomez, and Pioneer of the Nile's taken hold of the bit, and he's taking off with him now as he goes to the front as they go past the 5/8. Then we drop back to Unbridled Roman, who's lost a bit of ground. Chocolate Candy is now 5 off them, and Mr. Hot Stuff is last. They run past the half-mile pole in the Derby now. On the inside, Feisty Sue Answers. Right up alongside us, Pioneer of the Nile. No breathers out here. These two going at it as they go into the far turn. Take the points is right there, third, then Unbridled Roman. We come back to Gallant Sun, who's the first one under a ride. Mr. Hot Stuff has 6 lengths to make up, and Chocolate Candy last, but they taking closer order as they come to the top of the lane. Still the long shot, Feisty Sue Answers. Pioneer of the Nile is right there. Chocolate Candy on the outside. Take the points behind that. Gallant Sun in with a shot. Homeward bound in the Derby. Pioneer of the Nile gets the lead. Going to be tackled now by Chocolate Candy down the centre. But Pioneer of the Nile goes on. Chocolate Candy chasing Gately from second. Pioneer of the Nile fully stretched, but keeping Chocolate Candy at bay. And Pioneer of the Nile and Garrett Gomez have won the Santa Anita Derby. Chocolate Candy second, Mr. Hot Stuff third. Then came Take the Points, Feisty Sue Answers, Unbridled Roman, and Gallant Sun was last.
Another very nice effort from Pioneer of the Nile. Now, granted, he didn't have to contend with the Pamplemousse in this race. The Pamplemousse was scratched earlier in the day. It was determined that he did have a tendon problem, and in fact, it is an injury that will probably not only keep him off the Derby trail, but cost him most of his 3-year-old season. It's certainly unfortunate when that sort of thing happens. But in the meantime, one of the primary beneficiaries was Pioneer of the Nile. But an interesting race from this guy. It's a horse who early in his career had pretty much been a deep closer. Last time out, he did go to the front fairly early because the pace was slow. Again, this time, another rather casual pace. He got into the bridle, tugging Gara Gomez along. They went to the front, and he held sway by about a length over Chocolate Candy and Mr. Hot Stuff through the lane. Pioneer of the Nile, of course, now heads into the Kentucky Derby off of this effort. It will be his first try on the dirt. He began his career on the turf here in Saratoga, winning his maiden in his second career start towards the end of the Saratoga meeting last summer. Obviously likes the synthetic. We'll have to see if he can transfer his form onto the dirt. Chocolate Candy, like Pioneer of the Nile, another one who has spent his entire career on the synthetic surfaces, having run and won in the California and El Camino Real Derbies prior to the Santa Anita Derby. Pioneer of the Nile is a dark bay or brown son of Empire Maker from Star of Goshen by Lord at War. Bred in Kentucky by Zayat Stables and owned by the breeder, trained by Bob Baffert and ridden to victory by Garrett Gomez. Pioneer of the Nile runs his record to 5-for-8 lifetime. And don't forget, this is a horse that has twice beaten I Want Revenge. So obviously a horse with a little bit of running ability, albeit on the poly track. Have to see how he'll handle the dirt. Kentucky Derby will be his next stop. Pioneer of the Nile stops the 9 furlong clock in 149.17. We'll head right back to Santa Anita now, the Arcadia for older horses on the turf.
Away they go. Holy Thunder broke smoothly and set straight off for the lead. On the inside, Desert Code. Booyah is right there at the rail as Sky Cape drops into the 4th spot. Dixie Chatter's back in 5th, 6 off the leaders. Alongside of that comes Global Hunter. Mr. Napatandy taken back second last. And Medeo is last, a good 10 off them. Into the turn they go, and Holy Thunder sets off at a quick pace out here. Holy Thunder goes clear now to lead it by 3.5. In the second spot is Desert Code. Sky Cape is in third. Booyah is fourth, now 5 off that leader. Then it's 2.5 to Dixie Chatter, who's dropped down onto the rail. Up alongside of that is Global Hunter. And we come back to Mr. Napatandy, and Medeo at the back of the pack is a good 11 off the leader. They make their way to the half-mile pole, and Holy Thunder bounds along in front by 2.5. Desert Code is in second, and Sky Cape third. Alongside of that comes Global Hunter. Booyah losing ground at the rail now. Here's Dixie Chatter in the white cap, 6 off that leader. 2 more to Mr. Napatandy, and Medeo is still last, 10 off the lead. They run past the 3/8 pole, Holy Thunder, but they're starting to come after him now. Desert Code is right there, so is Sky Cape. Global Hunter has to go 4 wide. Dixie Chatter down at the rail, and now Medeo is winding up with a big run from last. Medeo going to come running on the extreme outside. They come for home now, and Holy Thunder is the leader, chased by Sky Cape. Dixie Chatter sneaking through down at the rail. Medeo on the extreme outside, but Dixie Chatter strikes the front of the rail. Mr. Napatandy with a late run. Dixie Chatter, Mr. Napatandy, Medeo. Dixie Chatter has won the Arcadia. Second, Mr. Napatandy. Medeo was third, and Sky Cape finished fourth.
Dixie Chatter scoring the victory. A nice effort by this guy. And I remember this horse as a nice 2-year-old. He had won the Norfolk at the age of 2. Ran well in the Hollywood and Oak Tree Derbies, going long last year. Dropped back to the Kilroe mile distance last time and was beaten less than a length in that race. Obviously a very nice horse who's come to hand very well at the age of 4, scoring here by 3/4 of a length over Mr. Napatandy. This guy seems to run about every 2 or 3 weeks, and he always seems to try hard. Matteo, the favorite in the field, at just under 2-1, scoring the 3rd spot here with a late rally while moving 4 wide on the turn. The winner, Dixie Chatter, is a 4-year-old son of Dixie Union from Mini Chat by Deputy Minister. Bred in Kentucky by Herman Sarkowski, owned by Herman Sarkowski, Pam and Martin Wygood, trained by Richard Mandela, and ridden to victory by Tyler Bays. Dixie Chatter covers the 1 mile on the firm turf in 134.12. Next up, we'll head right back to Santa Anita and older sprinters in the Potrero Grande.
They're all set. And away they go to a perfect start. 6-pack Abs is sent along and will take the early lead, but Sea of Pleasure very fast on the inside now, taking over. On the far side, Trumpet Player J is right there, and here's Halo Najib that joined third. They've been followed by Paul's Hope, who's now 6 off that leader, then back to Soul City Slew, and Davos is last. They run to the half-mile pole, and Sea of Pleasure couldn't be going any quicker. Leads at a length and a half to Six-Pack Abs in second. Down at the rail is Halo Najib making a bit of ground from third. Trumpet Player J is in fourth, 5 off the leader. Then we drop back to Paul's Hope. In behind that we have Soul City Slew, and Davos is last, 8 off the leaders. They are coming to the top of the lane, and it's Sea of Pleasure going on with it. Sea of Pleasure clear by 2. Now Halo Najib picks up the chase in second. Six-Pack Abs dropping out of it. Trumpet Player J down at the rail. Then comes Paul's Hope, Davos, and Soul City Slow. They come for home now, and suddenly Halo Najib is in front as Sea of Pleasure has stopped to a walk. Down the centre, Paul's Hope is coming on gainly along the inside. Soul City Slow. Soul City Slow down at the rail, coming fast. Soul City Slew gets the lead with 30 to go, and Soul City Slew and Michael Baines up to win it. Halo Najib was second. Paul's Hope finishes third.
Soul City Slew scoring the victory here at 11.5 to 1. This is a horse that won a $50,000 claiming race in his most recent start, going 6.5 right here at Santa Anita. Obviously likes the configuration and the track, and he scores the upset win over the favored Halo Najib, coming out of a second place finish in the San Carlos, with Paul's Hope wrapping up the top 3. The winner, Soul City Slew, earns his first graded stakes credentials. He's a bay-gelded son of Slew City Slew from Sweet Soul by Lord Avey. He was bred in Kentucky by Chris Young and Elizabeth DeBella, owned by the La Cañada Stables and trained by Jack Carava. Ridden to victory by Michael Bays, Soul City Slew covers the 6.5 in 114.79. We'll pause now for a brief message. When we return, we'll wrap up the Santa Anita weekend and head home to New York for a terrific day on Saturday at the Big A. Welcome back to Horses and Courses. We'll continue now at Santa Anita. 3-year-old fillies on the turf in the Grade 2 Providencia.
Straight in. Set now for the Providencia. And away they go. Bergberg broke a little awkwardly, but broke very fast towards the outside and goes for the lead. Passar Silvano now taking over. African Skies down at the rail, and Acting Lady is right there too. The pace fast early on. Now here's Rosie Mantle, 4 wide, but right behind the leading group. Inside of that comes Fast on Grass, and Mrs. Kipling is down at the rail. We Say We is hooked to the outside, gives them a 6-length start. In behind that we have Airfare and Will Away, and not cornering well at all here was Pride Dancer. Had a problem on that turn. Pride Dancer now's loused. They run onto the backstretch, and it's Passar Silvano at a fast pace. Goes clear by 3 lengths. African Skies is in second, and Bergberg is third. Then we come back to Acting Lady, who's now 7 off that leader. Just in behind that, we have Mrs. Kipling. Rosie Mantle is alongside of her. Then We Say We. Inside of that comes Fast on Grass, and Airfare is down at the rail, a good 10 off the leader. It's another 2 back to Will Away, and still the trailer is Pride Dancer. Into the turn they go, and Passar Silbano still clear out here, has it by nearly 3 lengths. In second is African Skies. Berg is now coming to tackle in the gold colours. Acting Lady down at the rail. Mrs. Kipling is coming with her run on the extreme outside as well. They're at the top of the lane now. Passar Silbano finds more on the lead, tackled by African Skies. Now down the centre, Mrs. Kipling exploding, and Mrs. Kipling a burst of speed. Acting Lady goes with her on the inside now. Mrs. Kipling, Acting Lady on the inside. Acting Lady's going to outrun her. Acting Lady won the Providencia. Mrs. Kipling was second, and then it'll go to Passar Silbano third, Berg, and Rosie Mantle.
Acting Lady scoring the victory. She was second in the China Doll here last month, and yet still went off at almost 21-1. Sits a perfect stalking trip, makes a nice bid between horses to win by a half over Mrs. Kipling, with Passar Silbano back in the third spot. It was long shots in the top 2 spots as Mrs. Kipling was making her American debut. She had run against Good Stakes Company in Europe, and Neil Drysdale, always dangerous with these types, and getting a little bit of a nice performance into her in her career American debut. So we'll have to follow her a little bit. She is trained by Bobby Slay, who often likes to bring his horses to Saratoga, so we may have the opportunity to see her running here on the East Coast. The winner, Acting Lady, a daughter of theatrical from Lady Fairfax by Sherwood, was bred in Kentucky by Sanford Robertson and is owned by Stephen Russell and Andy Bell, trained by Doug O'Neill and ridden to victory by Victor Espinoza. Acting Lady covers the 1 mile on the turf in 134.20. We'll head back to Santa Anita. Sunday's stakes feature was the Las Flores, a Grade 3 fillies and mares sprinting.
Away they go. Coco Bell broke beautifully from the outside gate, but High Resolve is very fast, and High Resolve will take the lead down at the rail. Sweet August Moon is settling down in third. Then it's Foxy Dancer, and Petite Cherie is last, 7 off them. Past the 5/8 they go, and High Resolve now opens up just over a length to Coco Bell. Sweet August Moon is a close-up third, and Foxy Dancer has taken a nice hold in fourth, just 4 lengths off these leaders. Another 3 back to Petite Cherie. They run past the half-mile pole, and it's still Russell Bays and High Resolve. They're trying to open up on the field now, a length and a half in front, but Coco Bell now starting to come right back from second. Sweet August Moon is in third. Then we come back to Foxy Dancer, Petite Cherie, 6 off the leaders. They come into the quarter pole now, and High Resolve the leader. Coco Bell threatening to run a big one. Coco Bell breathing down her neck in second. Then it's Sweet August Moon, Foxy Dancer in the red on the grandstand side. Even Petite Cherie suddenly wide open now. High Resolve battles on. Coco Bell just can't do enough. Foxy Dancer, Sweet August Moon. Sweet August Moon gets the lead from High Resolve down the center. Foxy Dancer, Sweet August Moon going to go on to win it. Sweet August Moon, a very game winner of the Las Flores. Foxy Dancer is second, then High Resolve, Coco Bell and Petite Cherie.
Sweet August Moon and Aaron Grider scoring the victory over Foxy Dancer. She had her head in front of High Resolve, who ran third as the favorite. The winner, Sweet August Moon, a dark bay or brown daughter of Malibu Moon from Silent Academy by Royal Academy, was bred in Pennsylvania by the Maple Leaf Farm and is owned by Legacy Ranch and Shirley McPherson. Trained by Brian Coroner and ridden to victory by Aaron Grider. Sweet August Moon covers the 6.5 in 115.21. We'll head back east now to Aqueduct, where on Saturday they ran a terrific card of racings highlighted by 4 stakes, beginning with the 7 furlong Bay Shore for 3-year-olds.
And they're off. Yano gets off to a good start. King Puma 2 on the far outside. Takarub is with the lead. From the inside comes Hatfield. And then it's Captain Candyman Can, who's come out running 5th. And in between horses, in a bit of a crowd there is Captain Candyman Can. And then on the far outside, it's Not for Silver. And behind horses now, Rocketing returns. A break of 3 back to Counter Move and another 4 back to Lionheart. Down the back stretch with Yano in front. Zips through a 22 2/4. Takarub right off his flank running in second. And Captain Candyman Can right there looming third on the outside and still on hold now. It's another 2 back to Not for Silver, who's running in 4th. On the far outside, Rocketing returns up into 5th now. Coming to the top of the stretch, Captain Candyman Can is poised for that stretch drive on the far outside. Yano down toward the rail. Takarub is in between those two as the field turns for home at the top of the stretch, and it is Takarub in front. Captain Candyman Can, and he's now in front. Captain Candyman Can, a tap or two, and he's on his way. And Takarub now back in second. Yano is third, and they're coming to the finish. And Captain Candyman can do. And he won by 3 emphatic lengths over Takarub. It was close for third between Yano and Hatfield.
Captain Candyman Can now 2 for 2 with the 7 furlong distance. Last time out, he was beaten by 9+ lengths by Quality Road and the Fountain of Youth. They decided to pull him off of the Triple Crown Trail. No more long extended routes for him. He's going to stay sprinting, and it certainly seems to be his game, as he won very impressively over Takarub with long shot Yano, sticking around well to finish third. The winner, Captain Candyman Can, is a 3-year-old bay gelding, a son of Candy Ride from Stormy Way by Storm Creek. Bred in Kentucky by the Lantern Hill Farm, Joseph Rauch and David Zell. Owned by Joseph Rauch and David Zell, trained by Ian Wilkes, and ridden a victory by Javier Castellano. Captain Candyman Can covers the 7 in 122.99. We'll head right back to the Big A now and the Grade 3 Excelsior for older horses.
And they're off in a stumbling beginning for Kerbat. Left at the back of the pack. True Resurgence comes out in stride. It was a good start, too, for Cool Coman. Giant Moon will sit just off the pace into the first turn. On the rail, Alazo. In between horses is Real Merchant of Tone. They're 3 wide. The stumbling start has put Kerbat near the back of the pack. The last of them all, under stout restraint early on by Ramon Dominguez, is favored Barrier Reef. So, into the backstretch run, and they're just waltzing in the early going. It was a 25-2 crawl for the opening quarter mile. A tactile advantage for Cool Coman and Giant Moon up and on this easy pace as they continue to run down the backstretch, 5.5 furlongs out. In the clear on the outside is Atoned, and down toward the rail, True Resurgent runs back in 4th. Real Merchant still on hold while 5th, and then it's Elazo, followed by Kerbat. Barrier Reef trails the field behind an easy half mile of 50 3/5 seconds, but still about 6 from the front. Half mile from home. Cool Coman has to pick it up a bit now. Now the tempo's quickening. It's Cool Coman, 3/4 of a length. Giant Moon runs in second. Atone there third on the outside. At the rail, True Resurgence. Right there in the thick of it, too, is Real Merchant. In behind horses is Barrier Reef. Nowhere to go for him at the quarter pole. The field turns for home. Giant Moon's got a short lead. Cool Coman is fighting him. Nip and tuck with 3/16 of a mile to go. Barrier Reef trying to catch up late. At the 8th pole, Giant Moon head-to-head with Cool Coman. Stride for stride to the line. Barrier Reef will be third. Down to the wire. Giant Moon wins the Excelsior here at 13-1, beating Cool Coman. Barrier Reef was third, and Atoned was fourth.
Terrific renewal of this race as Giant Moon scores his first graded stakes victory. I thought very impressively. Cool Coman was very game down on the inside after having run against fairly tough company last time out down in Florida. This time he shows a little bit more gameness on the front end, but Giant Moon, under Edgar Prado in a rider change, able to put him away. And this is not an easy horse to ride. He has been a little bit difficult, but obviously gets the ride. He likes pressing the pace early, and when Edgar Prado asked him, he was able to respond. He wins by a half over a resurgent Cool Coman. Barrier Reef closes from well back after having had a little bit of traffic on the turn to complete the top 3. The winner, Giant Moon, is now 6 for 10 lifetime. He won the Mr. G.J. Stakes for New York Breds last time out. It was a good 4th in the Wood last year on this racing surface, so obviously a horse with quite a bit of early potential, but he did have a couple of setbacks after last year's Preakness. Good to see him back. I know Schosberg's operation has done a really good job with him because he has not been an easy horse to get back to the races. Giant Moon is a 4-year-old bay colt, the son of Giant's Causeway from Moonlight and Beauty by Capote. Bred in New York by Albert Freed Jr. and owned by the breeder, trained by Richard Schosberg, and ridden to victory by Edgar Prado. Giant Moon covers the mile and a furlong in 150.90. Next up, the Grade 1 Wood Memorial for 3-year-olds going a mile and a furlong.
They're in the gate. And they're off in the Wood Memorial. Oh, I Want Revenge. Heavily favored, broke last of the field. He was absolutely flat-footed at the break, and he is left at the back of the pack. Interesting start to the Wood Memorial, and Lord Justice takes the field round the first turn. Atomic Rain is second. Imperial Council much closer to the pace today. Third on the outside, Just a Coincidence, is now fourth. Westside Bernie runs in fifth. At the inside, Longshot Cellar Dweller in sixth position. And then it's Lime Ricky, and last of them all, Joe Talamo is relatively unhurried with I Want Revenge after that disastrous beginning. It was a 24-2 opening quarter mile here as Lord Justice leads the field down the backstretch run. Edgar Prado's got Imperial Council right up there on his heels in second, behind a moderate half mile of 48 seconds. Atomic Rain is third toward the inside. Just a Coincidence is fourth. I Want Revenge now is commencing a bid. He's just outside the half-mile pole, and he's 5 lengths from the leader, and the leader is still Lord Justice. Imperial Council, just a little nudge there. Still a length behind. Lord Justice still holding him off. On the inside, Atomic Rain, right there, running in third. On the outside, Just a Coincidence. I Want Revenge is only 3 lengths from the lead, but he's in behind a wall of horses as the field turns for home in the Wood Memorial. Top of the stretch, Lord Justice, Imperial Council, Just a Coincidence. Can I Want Revenge get running room? He's in tight. He's found a narrow seam, and he is coming indeed. I Want Revenge comes on through to take the lead. Westside Bernie, second on the outside. A remarkable victory for I Want Revenge today, coming from last place, overcoming trouble almost throughout to win the Wood Memorial.
A little bit of drama added to this year's running of the Wood Memorial, as there was a rather dramatic stumble or bumble out of the starting gate by I Want Revenge. Kind of broke in the air and then took a couple of flat-footed steps before getting underway under Joseph Talamo. Joe Talamo, nice ride, not to get him, not to get all out of sorts going into the first turn. He just kind of let him relax into stride and gradually made up ground. Now, he ended up in a little bit of a box when they turned for home. Looked like he wasn't sure if he wanted to go inside or outside, but fortunately this rather handy and nimble-footed horse was able to split horses late. Still got the length and a half victory as the odds-on choice over Westside Bernie. Was also making a nice move on the outside. Just a Coincidence, finishing in the third spot after having had just a little bit of a wide trip, but not a bad effort at all from Just a Coincidence coming in out of an allowance victory in Florida last out. Little disappointing was Imperial Council. It was good to see him in the bridle and up in front a little bit in the early part of this race after he lagged well back in his most previous effort in the Gotham. Nonetheless, I do think that he might still need a little bit of schooling. He did give them some trouble in the paddock. He reared and had quite a bit of trouble, getting the tack on him and so forth. So it looks like they may drop back with him. He does not necessarily have enough earnings to get into the Kentucky Derby, and I think it might be to his benefit, as I'm sure that Shug will probably take a little bit of extra time and get him ready perhaps for a good second season this year. The winner, I Want Revenge, won the Gotham by 8.5 lengths here. Doesn't win by quite that much of a margin, but he certainly proved something here with a very hard-fought victory by a length and a half. The winner, I Want Revenge, a dark Bayer Brown, son of Stephen Got Even from Meguial by Roy, was bred in Kentucky by David J. Landsman Racing. Owned by IEAH Stable, David Landsman, Puglisi Racing, and Charles Winner. Trained by Jeff Mullins and ridden to victory by Joe Talamo, I Want Revenge covers the 149.49. Wrapping up the card on Saturday at the Big A, the Grade 1 Carter Handicap for older horses going 7.
And they're off. Tangled start for Tale of a Conti. Fabulous Strike comes out in stride, and Fabulous Strike has quickly gone to the lead and driven by Success. Away second on the outside, Understatement. Away running in third, Biker Boy is fourth. True Quality is in mid-pack, 5 lengths from the lead. Now 6 in fifth position. Then farther back in the field, it's Odd Day, followed by Kodiak Cowboy. Tail of Acati is 12 lengths from a speed duel up front through a quarter in 22 and 1/5 seconds between Fabulous Strike and Driven by Success. They're head-to-head at the half-mile pole, 2.5 lengths back. Understatements now on the inside. On the outside, Biker Boy runs in fourth. Then a break of almost 5. Back to True Quality, Kodiak Cowboy. Odd Day, Tail of Acati still a dozen from the lead. They're moving to the top of this stretch in a hard-fought half-mile of 44 and 2 between Fabulous Strike and Driven for Success. And the field turns for home. It is Fabulous Strike, and he's really tested here. Driven by Success right there with them in the outside. And here comes Biker Boy, and here comes Kodiak Cowboy. True Quality making strides at the rail. It's still Fabulous Strike. Can Kodiak Cowboy catch him? Here he comes on the outside. It's Fabulous Strike and Kodiak Cowboy. Here's the wire. Kodiak Cowboy, I think he got there right there at the very end to photo with Fabulous Strike. It's very close indeed. Driven by Success was third, and the final time for a thrilling renewal of the Carter was 1 minute 22 and 2/5 seconds.
Kodiak Cowboy scoring the victory. I believe this is his first Grade 1 win, and he's been around for a while now, and it's good to see him. Like Dixie Union, who we saw earlier on the card, a very good 2-year-old. Kodiak Cowboy was third in the Breeders' Cup Juvenile. He's now 8 for 17 lifetime, and he arrived in here off a second to Sock in the Kenner last time out down at the fairgrounds. We've seen a lot of fairground shippers do well at Aqueduct and Stakes Company this winter, and Kodiak Cowboy, no exception, as he scores by a head over the extremely good racehorse Fabulous Strike, who might be just a step or two better, going 6th and 7 furlongs. Driven by Success rebounds with a much improved effort here at 18-1 to complete the top 3. The winner, Kodiak Cowboy, a bay son of Posse from Cocodrie by Coronado's Quest, was bred in Kentucky by the Hartwell Farm. He's owned by Vinery Stables and Fox Hill Farm, trained by Larry Jones and ridden to victory by John Velasquez. Kodiak Cowboy covers the 7 in 122.47. That'll wrap up this edition of Horses and Courses. Thank you very much for joining us. We hope you'll be able to join us again next time when we take a look at stakes racing action from around the country. Until then, I'm Jean Wood. Have a great week at the races.